What's up, guys? Just finished week 45 of the trading challenge, trading from $100 to $1,000,000. Currently at 195,000. Last week we were at 229,000. So we're down 33 grand this week, roughly. Didn't do a whole lot, but there was a few things that I did. So I'll go through the portfolio first and then I'll talk about the trades. So first off, Mog's my main holding, obviously, most of you know. It's going down right now. So pretty much everything is bleeding, like literally everything. Ethereum's bleeding, Pepe bleeding, Pulse Chain's going back down. But yeah, obviously we had that nice bump, and it's been pretty much completely wiped out now, especially against Ethereum, right? Everything is bleeding against Ethereum, and ETH itself is also going down, so it's just getting wrecked across the board pretty much. But yeah, this shit's coming down, probably going to come down to like this level here. Hopefully, if we hold there, it'll look fine, but we'll see what happens with that. Also on the USD chart, we're probably just going to hit this trend line pretty soon, and then that'll be hopefully a good support area. I don't think we need to get much worse than this, hopefully, but we'll see. So yeah, that's Mog. Mog's pretty much, it's one of the strongest meme coins on this dip regardless, even though it looks like pretty shit right now. But yeah, that's Mog. I actually sold a little bit of Mog last night, and I put it into Joe, right? So this is my new holding. As you can see, I sold some Mog, I put it into Joe, and Joe has just pumped up like 40-50%. So I'll show you why I did that now on this chart. So when I sold my Mog, or my Joe rather, it was on this day right here, right? The exact top of the Mog slash, or the Joe slash Mog ratio, which basically means, I think that Mog's going to outperform from there. And it did. So Mog outperformed and Joe lost about 70% of its value against Mog. And then yesterday I was looking at this ratio and I was like, damn, that's a really good buy for Joe. And it's like a 3x back to where it was against the ratio. So I bought back into Joe, and it was legit the exact bottom. So I legit sold the exact top and bought the exact bottom on the day, for both of them. And yeah, so I legit bought it back in last night. Let's have a look. So yeah, you can see this day right here was the exact top of the Joe slash Mog ratio, and then this is the exact bottom of the Joe slash Mog ratio. So perfect trade right there. We're up like 15 grand overnight on that one, even though we're still down 30 grand for the week because Mog's getting wrecked. But yeah, overall, like, happy with that. Very nice trade right there. So yeah, I'm probably going to keep holding that because it is still very cheap on the ratio, and on the actual chart, it's a fucking amazing chart. It is at resistance right now though, so wouldn't be surprised to see it go back down a bit. But if it does break out, it could easily get up to, the next leg up is going to be like 150 to 300 mil probably. If it has a proper breakout, because this is just a cup and handle right here. But yeah, other than that, we are also holding bases for everyone still, which has been a terrible performer. There's been so much that's happened on base, and it just didn't take off ever. We had Zora absolutely send into like 300 mil or whatever, and then base has obviously made their base up and done a bunch of shit, and it's legit done nothing. But yeah, it's still in its accumulation zone, but it looks pretty shit right now. And there's been so many good narratives for it to pump, and it just never took off. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I don't know if I'm gonna sell, because to me it looks like it might actually break down now rather than just go sideways. But we'll see. Overall, it is what it is. I've got 7 grand in it now. I did put 10k into this play, so I am down on it. But yeah, it is what it is. Other than that, we're holding some Pulse Chain, and then we also have a little bit of DAI now. So I'll show Pulse Chain. The chain actually pumped up very nicely over the past like 4 weeks, right? And I do think, obviously we hit that resistance level, which is why I hold DAI. So I swapped some of the Pulse Chain, which is only 1.6 grand, into DAI, because I do think it's going to get bloodier for Pulse Chain. And the reason why is this chart here. If I look at the Pulse Chain against Ethereum chart, you can see like every single time it's been overbought, it's legit dumped 30 to 70% against Ethereum, which pretty much means if it repeats, Pulse Chain is probably going to make another all-time low, or maybe it'll make a double bottom or some shit. We'll see. It could go sideways or whatever, but as far as right now, it's overbought and it's probably going to go lower. So yeah, that's the Pulse Chain side of things. I mean, yeah, we wanted it to go up. It just hit that resistance level and then it got fucked again. And then obviously Trump's doing all this shit now with submarines in Russia or some shit, I think. And that's what's kind of causing the majors to dip down. So Ethereum and Bitcoin are taking a dip today. And, you know, obviously that drags down Pulse Chain and all your memes. And that's why the whole market's a bit rough. But Joe just holding through it. You know, Joe's just, he don't give a fuck about what's happening. This is kind of what happened last time. Joe ran up first. And then everything else came up like later on. But yeah, other than that, let's go to the trades, right? So we did take about 3 or 4 trades. So there's 3 on here. I also closed my, where is it, Zeus. I closed my Zeus. Terrible trade, right? I don't even want to show it. Like, it doesn't get much worse than this as a trade. So yeah, I was obviously kind of bullish on this narrative because it is a good narrative, still is. But obviously, it's just been completely wrecked. Terrible trade, still lower than my sell as well, which is crazy work. But yeah, I sold that legit almost a $6,000 loss. So shocking performance there. One of the worst trades on the whole account, to be honest. I don't take many big losses like that very often. Obviously, my portfolio goes down, but I don't lose on a trade like that. So yeah. That was one of the trades we closed. August now. So there was a coin called Yeti coin, I think. And it was basically because Richard Hart made a photo and it was like a Yeti in there. And I bought that and it was a rug, but I got out at about 50% loss. Only $100, nothing crazy. And then the other trade was Intune, and this was last night. And this is still pumping up right now. So it was a good trade, and I could have bought back in on the dip, and it ran back up overnight. But there was like, you know, I'm pretty sure the devs or the team, whatever, were legit dumping. Like, they had like 16% wallets. So I kind of like just never looked at it again and went to bed. But as far as the one trade goes, you know, I legit bought and sold the exact top here. And then obviously, if you just bought when it kind of semi-rogued, you printed pretty well, like another 10x. But yeah, this Peacock came out, man, absolutely sent. So I think Liberty Swap, obviously, they've been promoting this, and then kind of everyone's just been getting behind it. And it legit sent to 3.7 mil, which is fucking crazy for Pulse Chain. Big fade for me, because I legit had this when Prince DJ called it at 40 odd K, W call. So yeah, that was like, say I got in at like 50k, legit a 70x trade. I mean, probably like a 50x, I would have sold somewhere up here. But yeah, like a 30x would have been beautiful. But is what it is. We didn't get it, and we got Joe instead. So Joe, obviously we have showed you that ratio. We legit bought the exact bottom of this, and yeah, that was the 3 trades that I did this week. And then obviously closing the Zeus position. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, Ethereum, I'm not going to go over these too much, but like, you know, we're at that huge resistance. It's been a big problem for Ethereum the whole cycle. And we're taking a dip right now. We could come down to 3,200-ish, which is like this support level. You know, we've hit this area a lot of times on this trend. You can see like here, and then this as well. So I mean, it wouldn't be you know, the end of the world to come down to here and then go up. But overall, you know, I don't see this thing going down much. You know, it's going to chill up here until it breaks that 4K area, and then it's going to be gone. You know, that's going to be your fucking bull run that we've all been waiting for. But for now, it's not there. Same for, you know, Bitcoin. We're taking a dip, obviously, because of Trump doing the submarine bullshit. And probably just going to be pretty strong at like 112. Nothing crazy. Dominance, let's have a look at that as well. Yeah, so we had a big dip and it's just getting a little rebound up right now. I don't think this thing goes back up, so I mean I would say 63% maybe, and then back down. Hopefully that's like your break of your trend, kind of like a retest, and then dump that shit back down. So yeah, that's pretty much everything there is to talk about. We're at 195, 96k-ish, and we are down 30 grand for the week, but overall I'm pretty happy with how I played the week. You know, we had one decent trade making $1,000 profit on that intern coin, and we also are up like 15 grand on Joe on the dip. So overall I'm pretty happy with it. Just coins going down in value is what it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, and follow. Ta-ra.